Hey guys, potential shift here. Trade like it's 2026, not 1996. Welcome. I hope you can make the shift. And I am 100% nude from the waist down.
Show me.
So, trade like it's 2026. What does that mean? I almost don't want to make this video because I don't want to give away the secrets to the market. But you know what? Most people won't listen anyway. And even if they do, I can still out-execute them. So here goes nothing. Trade like it's 2026. The hard truth. Stop trading the news, all right? That is not how you win. That is thinking like other people, and you need to not think like other people if you want to have any chance of profiting against the stock market, all right? So first and foremost, turn off the news. The news does not move markets, all right? Price structure and positioning do. What does that mean? It means charts and how traders are positioned. That is what moves markets, not the news, okay? The news sucks. And worse than that, the algos are tuned into the news and they will deliberately cut against it, all right? They are trying to wipe out and capture money from short-term players, day traders, and swing traders who are playing the news and getting on the wrong side of long-term trades. News doesn't move markets. In the long run, it might. If you have a portfolio and you're holding for 5 years, the news might actually matter. You might want to adjust your positions a little bit, here and there. Geopolitical events and stuff like that. That may affect your long-term returns. But for day traders and swing traders, the news is actually poison, all right? Because the algos see it and then cut against whatever it is to try and capture weak hands, all right? So the news just isn't meant for us. It isn't meant for day traders and for swing traders, and we lose money over and over and over again when we trade it. Now, why do we keep trading it? It's because you're constantly bombarded with it, all right? If you watch CNBC, and probably all of us do, if you're a trader, you sort of have to. Bloomberg, you read, Market Edge, all that stuff, Kramer and Faber and Downtown Josh Brown, subconsciously what they are telling you, their predictions, it seeps in there, whether you want it to or not.
Tesla is up.
You just keep getting hit with that news, and you keep thinking, well, these people are making predictions. Let me make predictions based off of the news, right? And even if you don't want to do it, you're going to do it because it just gets in there. It's human, all right? The more you listen, the more you think you're Jesse Livermore, and you can predict the future, like the guys on TV do. But they can't predict the future, and you can't predict the future, which makes the news worthless. In fact, less than worthless. It's actually bad for you and causes you to lose money. So listening to the news, it will brainwash you. Even if you don't notice it's happening, it's brainwashing you.
There are 4 lights!
And I'm not saying don't keep up on current events. You have to. We all do. You have to at least have some idea of what's going on in the world and in markets. I'm just saying you have to be very, very cautious and very self-aware as you listen to the news, and be careful and guard yourself against drawing a bias from it, all right? Be aware that algos will eat those biases for dinner. That is what they are programmed to do. So if you're watching the news and you're drawing a bullish or a bearish bias from it, the algos are going to pick you off, all right? That is trading like it's 2026, not 1996, okay? Where back then, I guess maybe you could trade the news when the market was 100% human traders. Now it is 80% algos, algos looking to pick off people who are trading the news. What else about the news? The news is not repeatable, all right? It's not reliable. And you have no idea how the market will actually react to it. Again, because of the algos. It's like playing poker and placing a bet on what you think the turn card or the river card will be. You know, like I hear the news. That's sort of like, oh, I think a jack of hearts will come out next. So I'm going to go all in here. You know, that's what playing the news is like. All right. It's trying to predict the future. Uh, and you can. And the algos are going to front run you and take you out when you try to, all right? Because they will often do the exact opposite of what the news would tell traders with common sense to do, okay? So what can you trade? How can you actually make money? Price, structure, and positioning, okay? In other words, charts and front running the weak traders that we're talking about right now, all right? Charts and those rare moments where there are catalysts where all the human traders are sort of lining up on one side, all right? Think an economic number, you know, say there's a big inflation number, right? So you think, all right, the big inflation, that means that the Fed is going to raise rates. That's bearish, all right? So everybody lines up on the bearish side, all right? In those specific instances, when you have all of the traders lining up on one side, the algos will cut the other way to take the money from those traders. All right. That is what they do. That is what they are programmed to do. All right. So the algos will pound those types of situations. When you have a news story that clearly lines up in a bullish or a bearish way, the algos will cut the other way. So when you make a play like that, you're not predicting the future, all right? That's just seeing with clarity where the weak traders are and trying to front run the algos who are going to try and front run those weak traders, all right? The traders who think every news event matters when actually nearly none of them do. The truth is, economic numbers, geopolitical events, they don't mean anything, not in the short term. In the long term, they may, not in the short term, all right? They don't change earnings, and that's what really matters. They don't move multiples, at least not right away, at least not this quarter, again, and that's what matters. So all the news you hear, it's bullish, it's bearish, it's garbage, okay? It doesn't matter, not to swing traders, not to day traders. What matters is your charts, your price structure, your patterns, your resistance levels, and most of all, your execution. This is what matters, not the news, not catalysts. Charts, patterns, price structure, these are identifiable and repeatable. They have patterns, and patterns can yield an edge, all right? With proper study and proper execution, the charts can give you an edge. News is the exact opposite, all right? It's not repeatable. Every story is different. It yields no patterns. In fact, it actually destroys patterns. It causes chaos because every time there's a news event, there's a billion different factors involved. Each person trading it is a different factor. And you have the algos trying to cut against it. It's just chaos, and there's no making sense of it. So news is the opposite of what good, skilled, edge-seeking traders want.
Thanks, Dad.
So that's it, folks. That's it in a nutshell. This is why trading is like baseball before sabermetrics, all right? It's broken, all right? People have not figured out how to do it right yet. 95% of traders think that news and catalysts are what move the market. CNBC and Bloomberg and Market Edge and all the trading media out there, they reinforce that idea. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy, but I don't think they mind if you lose your money to the Wall Street titans and the market makers, all right? So they keep on giving you this idea when they make their predictions that you can do it too. You can be Kreskin and you can be Nostradamus, all right? Tune it out. Tune it out. Focus on what matters. Focus on what's tangible. And what's tangible is what has happened in the past, all right? That's your charts, all right? Focus on that. Focus on identifying repeatable scenarios with an edge. Again, that comes from charts and patterns. Most of all, focus on your execution. And execution means having a system to keep your emotions in check, all right? Because trading is an emotional game, all right? More than anything else. It's not an intellect game. It's not a predict the future game, obviously. It is an emotional game. It's about what's happening right here, all right? And you need to have a system that makes sure that you're making decisions based on patterns you've seen before, not on your emotions. So don't spend your time and your mental energy trying to figure out what the market's going to do. Spend your energy on creating a system that will yield profitable results and keep your emotions checked down, okay? That's how you win. That's how you beat the markets in 2026, not 1996.
Holy shit. Hey, Mikey, I think he likes it. How about some more? Hell yes. Hell yeah.
That's how you do it. Good luck, guys. Potential shift here. And remember, news doesn't move markets. Positioning and price structure do. Subscribe for more tips on how to actually win and for stuff that Wall Street and their minions don't want you to know.